Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed held discussion with Chinese President Xi Jinping by phone. The Premier said he held a fruitful phone conversation with President Xi Jinping on various issues, including efforts to contain the spread of coronavirus. The Prime Minister tweeted that I'm pleased to learn from President Xi Jinping that they will be providing special care and support to Ethiopian students in China. Prime Minister Dr. Abiy appreciated the work being undertaken by the Chinese government in this regard and expressed gratitude for the support to Ethiopians rendering so far. A total of 311 Ethiopian students are currently studying in 24 universities in Hubei province, including Wuhan and other cities. Until now, there has been no case of coronavirus infection reported, according to Chinese embassy in Finfinne. Training of leadership for Prosperity Party started at regional level in Adama, Batu, Sandafa, Legat Afo and Jimma towns. 10,000 participants are attending the 15 days leadership training.
Oromia Prosperity Party, in collaboration with Oromia Leadership Academy, has begun to provide awareness-raising training to 10,000 leaders in Adama, Batu, Sandafa, Lagatafo, Lagadari and Jimma towns. Member of the Oromia Prosperity Party Central Committee, who is also head of the party's Research and Studies Department, Mogaside, says the aim of the training is to create similar awareness for both new and senior leaders on how to succeed the ongoing reform agenda and ways of addressing challenges against the sweeping reform.
The training will be offered on how to sustain the result of our people's struggle and future work to address further the question of our people. Apart from this, it will also focus on overcoming the challenges to the reform and other problems.
He added that the Prosperity Party has made a 10-year work plan aiming at bringing drastic change. During the training, the leaders will deliberate on the plan and aware of it, he said. Mogas reiterated that the leadership is playing its role in safeguarding peace and solving good governance-related gaps. Adane Chabebe, a member of Oromia Prosperity Party Executive Committee, who is also Minister of Revenue, says the training will enable the leaders to aware of the difference between Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front and Prosperity Party, adding that the training focuses on how leaders discharge their responsibility towards realizing the undergoing reform.
Our party used to struggle in EPRDF since it would be difficult to solve the existing problems being in the front, and established new party, the Prosperity Party. The aim of the training is to raise awareness of the leaders so that they serve the public with commitment, play leadership role, understanding the difference between EPRDF and the new Prosperity Party.
She stressed that the training is important for leaders so that they will be committed to address public complaints.
Meanwhile, Prosperity Party leadership training is being provided to middle-level leaders in Finfinne City Administration. Deputy Mayor of the city, Engineer Takala Uma, said the party is intended to transform the nation to prosperity. Aklilu Gabru.
Prosperity Party middle-level leaders training kicked off at Finfinne. On the opening ceremony of the training, Deputy Mayor of Finfinne City, Engineer Takala Uma, says the party is intended to transform the nation to prosperity.
The term prosperity by itself has a positive meaning. As a party, we chosen the term because we want to put our country on the right track of prosperity in the near future.
Engineer Takala urged all members of the party to carefully understand policies, strategies and action plans of the party and put it into action.
To appropriately lead the reform, it needs high level of mental power, so you are the right leaders to cope up yourself with best proficiency to lead the nation and transform the reform.
Head of Finfinne City Administration Prosperity Party Office, Tasfaye Beljigi, says the training is aimed to create transparency on policies and strategies of the party among leaders.
The very important part of the training is to create a agreed upon understanding about the policies of the party and identify the challenges and opportunities of the reform to bequeath the nation to prosperity.
4,000 Fimpine City administration mid-level leaders are attending the training. It was learned. The political and economic policies of the party will be discussed on the stage.
The government of Ethiopia has dropped charges against 63 individuals suspected of committing crimes. Among the individuals to be released include those accused of corruption in Metas and Engineering Corporation METEC and human rights violation in various parts of the country, including in Somali and Benshangul Gumuz regional states.
The government of Ethiopia has dropped charges against 63 individuals suspected of committing different crimes. Director of Public Relations at the Attorney General Zinabu Tunu and Director of Cross-Border Crimes Fkadu Tsagay have briefed the media concerning the issue. Zinabu told journalists that the decision was made taking into account its contribution to national unity. The decision is made taking into consideration its importance in the national unity as well as its benefits in the country's change. On the other hand, the role of individuals in the process have identified and dropped their charges. He added that the move also took in consideration its importance for the ongoing reform to benefit the public as well as widening political space. Among the individuals to be released include those accused of corruption in Metals and Engineering Corporation and women rights violations in various parts of the country, including in Somali and Benshangul Gumuz regional states, according to Zinabu. Individuals arrested in connection with the June 22 incident in Amara regional state and violence in Sidama zone are also among those that will be released. According to the statement, only 1,682 out of 3,606 suspects have been arrested in various crimes, and works are underway to bring those who have not been arrested before the law.
The Federal Construction Works Regulatory Authority held a consultative forum aimed at creating awareness among stakeholders. The forum will also give regulatory laws for future works. Addis Asafar reports.
The Federal Construction Workers Regulatory Authority has been formed through the merger of Ministry of Urban Development and Construction and a proclamation number of 1097/2011 after it was approved by Council of Ministers. The Construction Workers Regulatory Authority is working on regulating laws for all construction activities that are and were being undertaken in the country. General Director of Federal Construction Workers Regulatory Authority, Masfin Nagawa, while speaking on the event, says the consultative discussion is focused on setting regulatory framework for construction industry. He added the construction industry would play a significant role in bringing social and economic prosperity.
Crucial activity must be guided by the efficient and full-fledged legal framework. So to aware the concerned bodies, especially those who are in charge to implement these regulatory frameworks at regional and the university levels as well as in the municipal level, we just want to aware them how we have to approach, how we can work, and how we can cooperatively enforce these legal frameworks.
Though the regulatory authority is infant to operate in construction workers, it is showing promising initiations. History of construction and architecture goes back to the period of Lalibela, Aksum, and other ancient civilizations in Ethiopia. However, the construction industry is not going with the anticipated progress these days, says the General Director of the authority. The regulatory authority has also evaluated its 6 months' performance and identified major bottlenecks and set strategic plan for future works. According to the evaluation, incomplete design feasibility, poor tender preparation, poor evaluation, random estimation of project time, delayance of payment, insufficient resource deployment by contractors per documentation, providing less attention for safety, low productivity, unable to finalize and close the project on time, poor project documentation, poor utilization of scaffolding during construction of buildings, mischieving bids were the major bottlenecks identified in the area of construction workers by the regulatory authority. The General Director highlighted major limitations of construction workers that were witnessed by the regulatory authority.
Implementation of accountability. So we try to supervise 15 in numbers the project. So according to our funding, the projects are just out of their time is there are time overrun, cost overrun. Again, even the quality issues are very critical. So we just discuss with the concerned bodies, and we put the direction how to correct these malfunctions. So I hope these 15 projects are in a well pipeline now.
The Oromia Roads Authority disclosed that it has allocated 2 billion additional budget to finalize all the delayed road and bridge projects across the region. The authority has evaluated work performance of its sectors here in Adamaton. Olkaboundemu reports.
The Oromia Roads Authority has evaluated work performance of different sectors of the authority drawn from all zones of the regional states. According to the information from the report, using budget properly and participation of the public was mentioned as strengths of the sector, whereas delays of projects, security problems, supply machineries was said the things that needs a quick response. Some participants of the meeting have been talked to said the stage is helpful in sharing best experiences.
We've got an opportunity to evaluate our achievements and share the best experiences of our activities. All those of the region have presented their performance report. So in this regard, it is an opportunity to share our best experiences and get a lesson from one another. All are evaluated and get feedback from stakeholders of the sector. The evaluation is based on the target plan and accomplishment of the projects, which means you will be evaluated based on your work performance. The meeting is also helpful so as to pave our future way for the success of the project.
Director General of the Oromia Roads Authority, Engineer Dejanif Kadu, for his part said the authority has been exerting maximum efforts in solving the problem of project reliance across the region, adding the authority has allocated an additional 2 billion for the accomplishment of the already started road and bridge projects.
At the authority, we've planned to successfully finalize all the delayed projects across the region. We are exerting our maximum efforts in realizing this plan. This year would be a year in which all delayed road and bridge projects will be finalized. That is why we allocate